Welcome to Back Yoga here, hosted on Veterans Yoga Project Online Studio. It's a gentle beginner's yoga class. It can be done either seated in the chair or standing behind the chair when we do the standing movements or on the yoga mat. So you kind of get to pick where you want to do the class today. I'll be cueing for both. So we do 5 things in Veterans Yoga Project. We do breathing, mindful movement, meditation, guided rest, relaxation, and that gratitude practice, all in a 60-minute class. So we will need a block and a strap today, and of course a surface that's not going to slip with this. I'm going to stand up. Whoops. I'm going to come over to the chair to help me get down to the floor. But let me move this chair out of the way. We're going to start standing or seated on the chair first. So let me move this out of the way and come to the yoga mat. So we're going to start. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. Can't see my head. How about that? Okay, that should be helpful. There you go. All right, so I want to invite you to feel your feet on the floor. So what that means is have both feet, whether you're seated on the chair or standing, firm into the ground. And think about there's a wrinkle on the floor. So you're going to press firmly into the floor and press away. So we're activating all the lower body. You're going to feel it in your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your glutes, maybe your calves, definitely the bottoms of the feet, whether you're seated again or standing here. And to begin with, this is the mountain pose. We'll just bring our hands to heart center. And I invite you to breathe in, let the belly expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine. Again, breathe in, belly big, let the belly relax. While you're pressing firmly into the floor, exhale, belly button towards your spine. 2 more times. Breathe in, belly big. And belly button towards your spine, exhaling. 1 more time. Breathe in, belly big. And exhale. Very good. Bring the feet a little bit wider apart. Not too much, but just a little bit more. Soft bend in the knees. We're going to do what's called the golfer's grip. We're going to fold the fingers into the top pad of the hands. Now sometimes that's more in the middle of the hands, whatever you can do, yeah? And fold them in. Now my fingers don't touch today, but I'm kind of stiff hands today, but that's okay. And we're going to roll those shoulders up and back and then bring the hands into like a formation of a letter W. So you feel the squeeze of the upper back, strengthening the upper back musculature, which is a essential component in releasing back pain. So what we'll do here is extend the arms out into a letter T, whether you're seated in the chair or standing here, feet firm into the floor, so everything kind of activated here. We're going to point our thumbs to the front of the room and then start drawing circles forward and back behind you. So super squeeze of the upper back musculature. Do what you can with what you got today. If you want to do just one arm at a time, that works too. Think about those fingers folding into the top pads of the hands or wherever they can fold into. Keep squeezing, keep pressing firmly into the floor, keep everything active. Sometimes I kind of move when I'm sitting on the chair. I do this. The chair's smooth. I just do, yeah. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release, shake it out. Kind of bend one knee, then the other side, shake everything a little bit. That's good for lymphatic drainage too, the shaking of the body. In fact, shake with palms up, good for carpal tunnel. Shake palms down. Shake over to one side, back to the center, over to the other side. All right. Go back to re-engaging those hands. So fold the fingers back on in. Notice if they have changed positions a little bit. Go back to letter W, upper back contraction, yeah? And then arms out into a letter T. Now we had the thumbs forward before, but let's bring thumbs up and then thumbs to the back of the room. Ooh. Firm feet into the floor, got that, contracted shoulders, and let's draw the circles behind us and forward. You might notice your shoulders being a little tired, yeah? That's okay. We're just going to try to do what we can. Again, breathe. In and out. A couple more times. Do what you can. If you need to take a break, take a break. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, and 1. All right, take the foot off the ground, kind of do a little marching movement here. Just kind of swing the arms forward and back. Just a little bit of movement here. And then bring the feet in, whether you're seated on the chair. And again, they're kind of back to that original placement that we had. And I invite you to interlace the fingers in front of your chest and then push the palms away and extend it out in front of you just for a moment here. Press those feet firmly into the floor to where you feel the activation from the hips all the way down to the floor. Now, if you're able, bring it up to where the eyes are. So you kind of hide your eyes, maybe the top of the head. Now keep the arms super straight. That's the key. And then maybe you can go higher. Maybe you can go wherever you can go. Now, bend the elbows, bend the knees, and then straighten the knees, straighten the arms, push away, whether it's towards the ceiling, towards where the wall meets the ceiling, above the head, whatever you can manage with straight arms, okay? Press firmly. Think about kind of lengthening out of the pelvis as you extend the arms, overhead extension. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Very good. And release. Shake it down. Bend those knees once again. All right, so those are really 2 good postural alignment yoga postures you can do, again, to help ease pain in the back. Let's come on down to the floor. We'll go into constructive rest posture, or sitting nice and tall, knees bent at those nice right angles. So I'm going to come over to the chair, come on down, move that blanket out of the way, the chair out of the way. I'll come back and use that in a little bit, though. And then, let me see here. I'm going to make sure I don't hit the little bell there. Okay. Constructive rest posture, lying on your back, knees bent. And then grab a wrist, pull the shoulder, upper back away. Grab the other wrist, do the same thing. Maybe take your hands back behind the head, kind of tuck that chin in towards the chest. And we'll do knee to chest pose. So if you're seated in the chair, you may want to take the strap along the bottom of the foot. If you're lying on your back, you may want to do that too, or just do this without the strap. So you're going to contract your belly button towards your spine, take the foot off the yoga mat, and invite the knee in towards the chest, and just do a little point and flex here. And then let's do those ankle circles. And reverse. Very good. From here, just kind of notice how far this is into your hip crease, or your side torso, or your ribs. Just kind of make a little mental note here. And then as we contract the belly button towards the spine, extend the leg out, and just kind of notice where this is comfortable in the air. So I'm going to move it around a little bit. And then with that next inhale breath, invite the knee in towards the chest. Extend the leg out. Belly button nice and tight. Again, knee into chest, breathe in. Extend that leg out. So when you keep moving as I'm talking here, as you bring the knee into the chest and the leg out, of course that can kind of stimulate stuff going on in your colon, in your intestines. So don't be alarmed if you notice air escaping, and I'm just going to leave that to your imagination, okay? So this is a nice one for aiding digestion, for digestion disorders, okay? So just kind of know that. So if you have medicines that kind of bind you up, knee to chest, moving knee to chest is a nice one for kind of getting that stuff moving, okay? So yoga is, good for a lot of reasons, and that one's a sneaky one. And then one more in towards your chest. So we just kind of lubricated our hips, our knee joints when we did that. You may have noticed some noise in the knees, in the hips. Just notice what you notice, yeah? And then let's place this foot back down on the ground. We're going to switch the strap over into the other bottom of the foot. If you're using a strap today, and then lift the leg up and off and invite it in towards your chest. So you're going to try to notice, okay, compared to the first side, is this one more folded? Is it the same, or did you really even notice? That's okay too. We're going to point and flex that foot. You might be feeling snap, crackle, pops happening. Kind of working those tendons, those ligaments, this ankle joint when we do this. Helps us to have better mobility when we walk, when we do a bit of ankle isolation movement sequences. And then let's do some circles. My foot's kind of snap, crackle, pop today. It's pretty noisy. And reverse. I still have to have the air conditioner on here in South Texas. Whew. Probably in Florida too, I would think. Ooh, my. Okay, and then let it relax and rest for a moment. And then let's go ahead and extend the leg out into the air, strap, foot on the strap if you need to. Again, notice where it feels more comfortable to you in space, and if it feels different than the first side we did. And then, with the inhale breath, invite the knee in towards the chest, and then contract that belly button, extend that leg out. So you try to coordinate your breath with the movement. Inhale, knee into chest. Extend that leg out. Again, lubricating that knee and hip joint, noticing the conversation that's going on with the knee joint, with the hip joint, if there is a conversation. Those of us that are more towards vintage probably notice all the creaky noises that we make. Just putting that out there. And this one's a little bit more difficult to do seated in the chair because you really got to engage that core. And what I have some folks do is they put like a little squishy ball in the back of their chair to kind of cushion their low back. So that's an idea to think about for maybe next time. I bought like a Pilates ball to do that with. Let's do 2 more. Woo! And then 1 more. And invite the knee into the chest. Just kind of let it hang there just for a moment. Again, just kind of notice what you notice with the knees, with the hips, how much folded in towards your body this side is versus the other. And again, kind of working with the lower body musculature to kind of help you with back pain. It's very essential. It's all kind of up this kind of chain, right? So where your pain is not necessarily where the issue is, all right? And then bring the foot back down to the floor. So let's just kind of stomp our feet. And then come up on the balls of the feet and wiggle the legs. So that's to lessen leg cramps. You shake and stomp every day. Let's go back to stomping. And go back to shaking. Also great for lymphatic drainage. Yeah, beautiful. And relax and release. Let's do the notice posture. So we're going to extend one leg all the way down, even though we've done about 5 or 6 postures already. And do the other one. Make sure I'm not going to hit something there. And again, you're going to notice that there's like congestion feeling in the hips or like, super grabby low, mid-back, that kind of thing. If, your calf is able to lay on the floor, the back of the knee, the back of the thigh, just things to notice. It's not, nothing's not wrong or anything like that. It's just what you're noticing what's going on. Yeah. All right, so squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Bring the foot back onto the floor, then the other. And let's clap the hands and get some circulation going on in the palms. Create some heat. Maybe you want to squish it side to side. And then move the warmth into the fingers. And again, if you're seated, you're going to hinge forward. If you're lying on your back, just lift one of your knees towards you. And then I invite you to kind of rub on that knee. Create some heat on that knee. And then kind of do those little cat claws, those little acupressure points. Be sweet, though. Be kind to your body. And then you're going to tap on the outside of the leg to lessen knee pain. And you're going to take the pads of your fingers and gently stroke the back of the knee. That's for lymphatic release, lessening edema, swelling in the lower part of the leg. Very good. Clap the hands once again. Put that foot down on the floor. Kind of really get some heat going on here. This is also good for your hand circulation, lessening strokes, that kind of thing. Again, squeeze the belly button, lift the other knee in towards your chest and start rubbing on the knee. And then do those fingers, cat claws. And then tap, tap, tap on the outside of the knee. And then take the pads of your fingers, gently stroke back behind the knee. Got this pant here, so it's kind of weird. Okay. I'm also using the sides of my thumbs. It kind of massages the outsides of the thumbs when I'm doing this, or the outside of the knees. Very good. Bring the foot back down to the floor. Next is windshield wiper. Now, if you're seated on the chair, you may want to have your feet on the yoga blocks to get a little bit more range of motion. And if you're seated on the chair, you're up on the balls of the feet. You don't necessarily need to be on the balls of the feet, lying on your back. So we're going to take one leg out to the side, laying on the side of the foot. And you're kind of on those tippy toes seated in the chair. Now, we're going to take the other leg, drop it towards the bottom leg. And so we got a little low lumbar twist going on here. So I'm pretty tight today on that top side. And the other one, I typically need a little assistance with the block, but today I'm able to bring it down to the floor. It may have been because of the moves that we did previous to doing windshield wipers. Okay, now squeeze the belly button. We're going to take the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center, and do the other side. So drop the other one out to the side, up on the balls of the feet if you need to. And then, when you're ready, take the top leg, drop it towards the bottom leg. Just kind of notice, the part of the behind coming off the yoga mat, noticing that stretching sensation going on in the top side of the body. And as you breathe in, the belly expands. You may notice more stretching sensation. You may notice more. Let me just put that out there, okay? And sometimes it's kind of spicy, so you can listen to the breath, okay? Squeeze the belly button, bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. We're going to do each side again. So go over to the original side, drop it towards the side, and take that top leg, drop it towards the bottom leg. So I'm able to do a little bit more the second time around. Just that little bit of holding in the position movement helped me do a little bit more the second time around. It may be true for you too. It may not. And again, take the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center, and let's do the other side. So drop the knee out to the side, and take the top leg, drop it towards the bottom leg. And so I'm able to go a little bit more into this kind of stretch that's going on through the muscles that's kind of crossing the hip bone. All sorts of things going on there. Squeeze the belly button, take that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Very good. From here, we're going to do pigeon, but we're going to do preparatory for pigeon. So that's either, and I'm going to get my strap and my block close by. If you're seated on the chair, you take one ankle across the other ankle and the knee drops out to the side. Then you got to bounce that leg. Well, to do that, you probably need to have that strap underneath the knee pit to kind of let the leg drop and you pull it towards you. So everybody's probably able to do this version, but some folks want to try the second version, which is sliding the foot on top of the leg. And if you're seated, you're going to be pulling the leg towards you and letting it drop. You can do that also lying on your back, but some folks like to take the yoga block or their hand and push the leg away. Again, this is gentle yoga for back care. Next week is chair Tai Chi. So we do them every other week, so to speak. So this is your piriformis bounce. It's in preparation for pigeon. I'm going to show the second version of this pigeon just because, folks are used to that, but I normally do not do that version. But we'll get ready for that in just a moment. And just let everything just kind of, be still, relax, release. Then we're going to take the bottom foot and tap, tap, tap. That's just to make you aware of the bottom part of this posture. And you're going to press that bottom foot firmly into the floor to where you feel that contraction of the top leg, the hip possibly. Top leg. So you're going to take the toes, point them towards your knee so you have that calf nice and aligned with your knee, with your upper thigh, and then squeeze the buns. And you can either, if you're seated, you can be nice and tall and hinge forward, or you can take your hand and press the leg away. You can use your yoga block to press away, but don't forget pressing into the bottom leg. So the second version of pigeon is instead of the foot connected to the floor, the bottom one, is to grab that bottom one and invite it in towards your chest. Now you're going to feel a lot more spice going on with that top leg hip. And you can also take your heel, your hand, and press that leg away. So this is a version that a lot of people know about, but I like the one foot on the ground because I can really push into that foot in the ground and really push the top leg away. So that's just my personal preference. So I just wanted to show you the second version of the pigeon, which is another variation of the pigeon posture. This one's helping to release the sciatica. So, if you get kind of a pinchy nerve going on there, you can get a shooty pain down the leg. So piriformis bounce and pigeon posture are great for releasing tension in those areas. Now relax and release everything. Yay. Bounce that top leg. Okay, so now we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to move away from the wall just a little bit to do this, because I'm noticing I don't have much room. So what we're going to do is we're still in this pigeon position. That's hard to say. And we're going to let the lower body twist. So we're going to think about, okay, lower body, we're going to twist towards the lower leg side. So basically you're taking that top leg to where it comes back down to the floor, or maybe you use the yoga block to come onto. You're on the side of the bottom foot. You're seated in the chair. Let me think here. You can cross legs and twist over to the bottom leg side instead of having this gap here. This is a little bit more difficult to do seated in the chair, but you still get a little bit of a twist going on here. And again, if it's spicy, listen to the breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And let's contract the belly button towards the spine. You may want to take your hand to help you guide the legs back to the center, or whatever you can do today. And take that top leg up and off and shake it, wiggle it, shake it again, and release it down to the floor. Let's do the other side. So, got to remember all the stuff on the other side. So again, either it's crossed at the ankle bone, knee out to the side. If so, thread that strap underneath the knee pit. This is one that, people in the chair sometimes need to do, because the flexibility is not there in the hips for whatever reason. And it's okay, all right? You can do what you can with whatever variables you've got going on with your body. Or it comes on top of the thigh, and you're seated, you pull it towards you and let it drop. If you're lying on your back, you may do that same thing, or you can push the top leg away. So I'm going to push it away. Move my strap out of the way somehow. Again, we're preparing for pigeon on this other side. Prep for pigeon. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, now let's get into the pose, shall we? We're going to tap, tap, tap that bottom foot. And then press the bottom foot firmly into the floor. There you go. Top toes, point them towards your knee. Squeeze top bun. Press top leg away. Woo! Now, if you're seated, you're hinging forward. Maybe hands are on top of the foot, the knee, elbows out. Could be pretty spicy, okay? And it's okay. Now, if you want to do the second version of this, version 2 of pigeon, I'm being fancy here. I have to roll up and then grab my yoga pant and invite it towards my chest. Now, this is quite spicy in the top behind. And again, I'll take a hand and push the top leg away just to add a little bit more spice. But again, I prefer the foot on the floor, but that's just me. You pick which one you want to do. We're going to hang out here for 85 seconds. No, I'm kidding. Just a little bit more. 85 is my number where I just kind of like give y'all a jolt, like, oh my gosh, 85 more times. No, not really. Not 85 more times, okay? And release all that tension. Let it relax. Yay. Bounce the leg once again. Yeah? However you need to bounce. And then we're going to do that twist on this side. So I'm going to scoot a little bit more towards the wall this time. All right, so the bottom leg, we're going to twist towards the bottom leg side. And if you're seated, cross the legs and twist. And again, you may want to take a block, place it underneath. If you don't want to come all the way down to the floor, then I'm going to rest on that side of the foot. Now, another thing you can do in this one, maybe the knee is more towards you. Notice if it is, then maybe invite the leg to go away from your body. And again, just kind of notice, woo, the different things that get activated when you do that. So it's a pigeon twist. Squeeze the belly button. Bring that top leg back to the center. Bring that top leg up and off and shake it and wiggle it and shake it and bring the foot back down to the floor. Beautiful. From here, let's do notice pose. So extend one leg, shake the leg a little bit, and do the other one. Maybe move your shoulders a little bit and just kind of notice, okay, this is the second time we've done notice posture. Does it feel different? It should feel a little different here. Hopefully it's better. Yeah? Okay, grab your yoga block or your towel or your squished up pillow. Bend both knees. Kind of bring the, 4 to 6 inch width in between the thighs. And you remember that golfer's grip we did at the very beginning of class where we folded the fingers into the pad. We're going to do that with the overhead extension, letter T. So this strengthens our hip complex, our upper body, and helps us with the range of motion in our shoulders. Always, always keep it between easy and ouch. Now I'm going to lift my behind up and roll my spine back on down. That just feels a little bit better to me. Okay, so we're going to do super person hands out here in front of our chest, whether you're seated on a chair, and you're going to walk your feet in so you get that nice little kind of contraction of the inner thighs, yeah, and that translates into the hip complex, believe me, and feet softly into the floor. Now turn that hands towards one another, and we're going to fold the fingers into the pads, yeah, and then turn the thumbs out, bend the elbows, back of the arms into the floor, parallel forearms to the floor if you're seated. And here we go. We're going to squeeze the shoulders towards one another, squeeze that block, and release. Keep squeezing the block though, okay? Squeeze the shoulders and release. 3 more. Squeeze and release. 2 more, 2 more. Squeeze and release. 1 more. Squeeze and release. Hands in front of your chest. Clap the hands. Get some heat going into the palms, into the fingers. Work it down. I'm looking to see what's back behind me here. And we're going to interlace the fingers. Now, if you're lying on your back, be sure to drop the shoulders and the arms super straight. Check to see that the elbows look the same. I'm going to move my bowl out of the way here because I might hit it. Okay. And we're going to bring the arms up and overhead. As we squeeze the block, have super squeezy abdominals. And we're going to notice where the arms stop. So mine are on the side of my glasses, and both elbows, arms are super straight. This is hard to do seated in the chair, so just do what you can, okay? Keep squeezing that block. Now we're going to bring it back to in front of your chest. So squeeze the block, squeeze the palms. Here we go. Very good, very good. And then release the hands, clap the hands, and rub those palms. Get some circulation going back on. Okay, we're going to go back to that golfer's grip. Fold the fingers into the pads. Ooh, they're coming down. And turn the thumbs towards your center of your body. Bend the elbows, back of the arms on the yoga mat. And then I wiggle my shoulders a little bit there. And we're going to squeeze the block. Maybe walk the feet in a little bit more. Get that super squeeze going on. Here we go. Press into the floor. Squeeze the shoulders towards one another. And release. Squeeze the shoulders and release the shoulders. Keep squeezing the block consistently. Squeeze and release. 2 more. Squeeze and release. Last one. Squeeze, squeeze the block, and release. Hands in front of your chest. Clap. Woo. Rub the hands. Maybe less squeeze of the block while you're rubbing your hands, okay? Try to get some feeling going back on in the hands. And interlace those fingers. Shoulders down. Elbows look the same. Belly button tight, tight, tight. And then bring the arms slowly up and overhead. Now I'm trying to keep my arms straight as I do this. And I'm not trying to go too fast. Woo, it's coming down the side of my glasses this time. So since I'm here, I'm going to wiggle my thumbs. Oh my gosh, I'm almost touching the floor. Wow. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it does not. And then from here, slowly bring it back to in front of your chest. So this is your little core challenge here. Sneaky core work without crunches. I love it. Woo. Once it's in front of your chest, release the fingers, clap the hands, rub, 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 get some feeling going back on right here, right here, right here. I love it. Okay, back to the golfer's grips hand. So fold the fingers in. Okay, there we go. Turn the thumbs to the center, bend the elbows, back of the arms into the floor. I'm going to walk my block in a little bit more. Well, I think that's all I can do. And then from here, I'm going to wiggle my shoulders and then squeeze into the floor, squeeze the block and release. Squeeze my shoulders towards my spine and release. 3 more. Squeeze and release. 2 more. Squeeze, 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 release. Last one, I promise. Squeeze, yeah, and release. Hands in front of your chest. Clap, clap, clap. Woo, rub. Okay, last overhead extension. Here we go. Interlace the fingers, squeezy palms, shoulders down. Elbows look the same. Okay, here we go. Squeeze that core. Bring the arms up and overhead. Excuse me, my voice is cracking. When I lay on my back, sometimes that sinus just kind of gathers, you know? I know it's kind of gross. And then wiggle the thumbs. Wow. So this is the first time I've been able to bring my knuckles down to the floor. That does not happen. Or is there something there? Oh, it's my little bell stick. Okay, whatever. All right, squeeze the core now. Here we go. Bring those straight arms back into its original position right here in front of our chest. Release the squeezy palms. Clap those hands. Well, that was kind of wimpy. Very good. Okay. I'm not saying that you all did it wimpy, but it was me. It was like just a little tiny clap there. Excellent. I'm going to take that block out. Go ahead and do the notice pose. Extend one leg, then the other. You're on the back of the heels when you do this on that chair. Hands back behind you. And again, notice how you feel here, lying here on the yoga mat. Okay, we're going to squeeze the belly button, grab your yoga block. So this one does not translate well to the chair. I mean, it does okay, but we're going to do what we can. You put the block here in the back of the chair and press your low back into the chair. Those of us lying on the floor, walk your feet towards your behind, either with your own muscular strength or with the aid of your hand. Lift up and place that block low on your behind. And then walk your shoulders away because it feels kind of crunchy here. And then let's do block bridge. So this is another yoga posture for easing tension going on with that back side of your body. So you can kind of feel this little traction feeling going on. You're seated on the chair. Maybe you can transfer to the couch and do this. Because I know some folks do not like to get down to the floor. But maybe you can do this on the couch or the bed or if you have a long coffee table. Yeah, just try it somewhere, right? All right, so I'm going to bring one leg in the air, and let's do that lymphatic drainage. Shake, whoo, and wiggle. Whether you're seated on the chair, lying on your back, you can shake the leg. The leg can be connected to the floor if you need to. If you need to, keep the foot on the floor as you shake it. If you're seated on that chair. So this, the benefit of going over to the couch or getting on the floor is that you got a little working gravity a different direction for any kind of pelvic prolapse, and that would be the rectum, the bladder, and then the appropriate male, female things that are going on. And then release that foot down to the floor. Kind of notice this tingling sensation that's going on. Other leg, let's bring it up and shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Again, if this is uncomfortable to be on the block, you can do this without the block, laying on your back. Just be on your back and bring the leg up into the air, okay? So again, and if you don't have a block and the pillow is just not cutting it, that's okay. This can be done without that block, but the block is the key. It's the key. And then just add the other leg up in the air and shake both. Kind of be competitive with the left side versus the right side, maybe, yeah. And then shake it side to side. Oh, that feels weird. And then shake. Woo. And wiggle. I don't like the wiggle because it feels like my knees are coming out. Well, actually they aren't. But anyway. Shake, shake, shake. And then release one leg down to the floor. Then the other. All right, you're going to press into the floor. Raise up a little bit. Take that block out. Roll your spine on down. Woo. Notice what you notice here. Maybe you don't have that excessive arch going on. Maybe it's still there. Extend one leg. Shake it out a little bit. Do the other. So again, if you're doing the class seated and you don't have an opportunity, to do this during class, you have a yoga block. Go over to your couch, your bed, kind of find a harder surface if you can, and try block bridge, okay? And just notice how it feels so different in your body, how it feels a little bit more released. That's my hope for you, okay? Now, we're going to squeeze the belly button, slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, then the other. We're going to do either seated on the chair, on the floor, cat-cow, or flowy cat-cow, which means we transition over onto our side. Come up. I'm checking our time here. I like to do some of those essential postures for easing back pain, and flowy cat-cow is one of them. So we're going to transition onto hands and knees, but I notice my blanket's way over here. I have a spicy knee, so I'm going to make sure I bring that blanket over. And those of you that are doing the chair versions, you've been with me for a while. If you're new, well, I apologize. I'll cue you afterwards, I think. But if you're on your hands and knees, you can be on curly toes or tops of the feet. I like curly toes. It gives me a little bit more gripping. And then traditional is hands underneath the shoulders and curve the spine and flare in the tailbone. But for those of us with back challenges, let's do the safer version. You still get that extension and flexion of the spine. So hands come forward, you come down to the forearms, and I scoot my elbows towards my knees and bring my behind close to my heels. And then from here, staying low to the floor, I'm going to inhale, drag my head up in between my arms. My belly is soft. Now once I get my nose kind of in alignment with my wrists, I contract my sky, peel my forearms off the yoga mat, shift a little forward, and then keep curving to the top of the room. That's the cat part. As I exhale, lower back down to my forearms, to my shins. And then let's do that again. Inhale, drag it forward. Contract, peel the forearms off, spine to the top of the room, lower back down. Coordinating that breath with the movement. Here we go. Breathe in. Exhale. My side of the yoga mat in a line. And sometimes it takes a little bit of upper body strength to make that happen. One more time. Breathe in. Excellent. Now, I'm going to come from this flowy cat-cow to standing. So I'm going to walk my knees in towards one another and take a foot out to the side and bring the foot up in between my hands. I don't have my yoga block or chair close by, so I have my torso on my thigh, my bent knee. Curl that back toe, lean a little forward, lift that back knee, and then I take that back leg, hop walk it near my front foot. I'm still nice belly on my thigh, hands on my hips, hinge on up. So sometimes when you come up from that, being on the floor, there are these dizzy issues. So feet wide, hands on your chest, look down at the floor, breathe in, breathe out. Again, inhaling and exhaling. Grab your yoga block. Again, if you're seated or if you're standing, either way. And if you're seated, you're going to have one knee, the knees are going to be kind of out at angles. And if you're standing, your feet are stepping out wide, your toes pointing a little bit towards the corners of your yoga mat. And then you have your hands on either side of your block. So from here, it's called horse stance. It's something we do in standing Tai Chi, but I also use it in yoga classes, just again to get into the hips and into the leg musculature. We're going to bend over to one side and draw side line number 8. So keep moving, keep breathing. Bend one knee, straighten one leg, or somewhat straightened, okay? So we're using both sides of the brain when we do this. Little dementia prevention. Also, it's a cardio yoga posture because you're using those large muscle groups. And let's pause in the middle. Now we're going to draw the other direction. So move over to the other direction. Or 2 sideline zeros, if you want to think of it that way. Keep breathing, keep moving. Notice which feels more natural to do versus the other. Getting into that upper body also. All right, bring it in, step it in. All right, from here, we do this in our chair Tai Chi class, but we're going to do this standing or seated on the chair. So you've got your block. We don't do it with a block though, but today we are. We're going to push the block one direction, shoot your hips the opposite direction, and turn your head towards your hips. Very good, and bring it back to the center. Nice and tall, wiggle a little bit, get everything kind of reset there. Now press into that block, press the arms one way, shoot the hip the other way, and turn your head towards the hip jutting out. Okay, and then bring it back to the center. Let's do one more each side. It's called Swimming Dragon. Push it away, look the other direction, shift those hips. Very good, and then bring it back to the center. Kind of wiggle a little bit, okay? And then shift it over to the other side. Very nice. And then back to the center. Excellent. Since we're here, bring the feet in. And then we'll inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then we'll bend the knees, hands on either side of the block, bend the elbows, press into the hands. So just a variation of chair pose. And again, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Grab the block at the top, bend the knees, bend the elbows, press firmly into the floor. Hinge forward if you're in the chair, doing the chair version of chair pose. Take the block into the other hand. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Feet firm into the floor. Same side hand with the block. One more time. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bend those knees, bend the elbows. Here we go. Sink into the pose. Sink right there, right there, right there. Beautiful. Take the block down to the floor. Let's just step the foot out to the side. If you're doing the tree version seated on the chair, your block is kind of in front of your chair and you place your foot on the block and knee out to the side. Those of us here, step a foot out, turn the foot out, and then start walking it in. So it may be here at the floor. You may be having hands on the chair or on the wall. It may be into the calf, but make sure the leg is out to the side. And bring an arm or arms up. Now I'm hanging onto the wall today. Usually I hang onto the side of the chair because I have the chair close by. Press that foot firmly into the floor. Think about lengthening from your pubic bone to your collarbone. So lengthen up. Very good. And release. Move a little bit side to side. Again, if you're using the block, you're doing the chair version of tree pose, your foot on the block, the foot's out front of you and knee out to the side, and press firmly into the floor. You're doing the standing version. Bring that foot in, knee out to the side. This may be your tree pose today, and it's okay. Or it's into your calf or your inner thigh, never the knee joint, okay? And think about from your pubic bone to the collarbone, lengthening up. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Beautiful. And release. All right. From here, whether you're seated on a chair, whether you're standing, let's do the moving meditation. So trying to make my feet be looking like number 11s. They're parallel. All right. Beautiful. Hands are out to the side. From here, let's inhale, gather in. Exhale, raise it up to the shoulder height. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it together. Inhale, flow it towards your chest. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, lower. Exhale, out to the side. I think I got that mixed up. Let's try that again. Inhale, gather in. Exhale, rise. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it together. Inhale, flow it towards your chest. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale, lower. Exhale, out to the side. Inhale, raise it up. Keep one arm up, one hand on the hip. Really reach for the sky. And then lean that side body over. Very good, very good, very good. Inhale back on up. Exhale, flow it down. Now we already did our twist in the twisted pigeon, so let's go ahead again. Side lateral flexion. Breathe in, circle sweep arms up. Bring a hand on a hip, a hand to the sky, and then exhale. Lean that side body over. Beautiful, beautiful. Bring it back on up, and then float it down. All right, we're going to come back down to the floor. So again, I'm going to use the chair to come back down to the floor. We need to check our notice posture. We need to check our constructive rest pose. And again, laying on your back, knees bent. Move stuff out of the way here. Very good. And so notice how the back side of your body feels into the floor, into the chair. Grab a wrist. Again, pull the arm up and away. And do the same with the other side. Go ahead and let's do some little windshield wipers, but let's do both legs at the same time. So wipe them to one side and then wipe them to the other. Again, getting a little bit of movement in that low back. Just a reminder, next week is chair Tai Chi. I think it's November 6th, yeah? All right, so from here, let's do the notice posture. Extend one leg, then the other. Wiggle those feet, wiggle the hips, wiggle the shoulders. Arms can be out to the side. Although some folks like to bend at the elbows, place their hands on their torso, have relaxed shoulders. For those of us with, challenges in our back, sometimes the better posture is to have the feet like as wide as your yoga mat, and then drop the knees in towards one another. That's a very comfortable place to be. Some folks will put their legs on the wall, legs on the chair. So we're going into our guided rest and relaxation portion of our class. So I invite you to get comfortable. This is the part of the class where I come up to the front of the room and guide you through that relaxation. Just know that sometimes this is a very difficult thing to do because a lot of us do not like to be still. And that's okay. So we're going to do what's called a body scan. It's very similar to what happens in the evening with the yoga nidra. So this is like a little mini yoga nidra, okay? So again, I invite you to get comfortable. So whatever that means for you, that might mean, maybe you have a towel or something you can put over your eyes, or maybe it's cold in your room, you want to cover up with a blanket, or maybe put something underneath the bend of the knees. That's very helpful for those of us with back challenges. So whatever it is, get comfortable. For me, it's usually my left shoulder feels kind of like stuck in the floor, so I'll kind of like, shake it a little bit, but then I got to do the other side too, make it all feel nice and even. Very good. So I invite you just to notice your breath. Don't change it in any way. Just notice, what does it feel like here to breathe in? So again, just kind of notice the places that are moving as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out. Sometimes when you become a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm in the body, your breath becomes a little bit more shallow. That's okay. You don't have to continue that deep, deep breath, okay? But maybe you can focus your attention on your low belly, and then as you breathe in, think about your low belly kind of pooching out, kind of extending out. So breathe in, belly out, kind of like when you were a baby. And then exhale, belly falls. Again, inhaling, belly expands. Exhaling. Release the tension from the shoulders. Wherever your body is touching a surface that's supporting, just let it melt into that surface. Good. From here, I invite you to bring all of your awareness, all of your attention to different places in our body. I'll name some places, And what you'll do in your mind is you'll name it back inside of your mind. You'll say, if I say right hand thumb, you'll say right hand thumb. You'll think about your right hand thumb, and then you'll imagine your right hand thumb. Your eyes can be open or closed. It's whatever's more comfortable for you, but lots of folks do this with eyes softly closed. Again, do what you can today. So again, I invite you to bring all of your attention, all of your awareness to the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder, right arm, left arm, right side chest, left side chest, upper abdominals. Notice your navel center, lower abdominals, right hip, left hip, right leg, left leg. Let's shift our attention to the places on the back side of our body, noticing the back of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, upper back, mid back, low back, right behind, left behind, back side of the right arm, back side of the left arm, the back side of the right leg, the back side of the left leg, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot. Now just bring your attention to the places that are being supported by a surface beneath you, the back side of our body. So notice the buttocks, the shoulders, the back of the head, maybe the thighs, the calves, the bottoms of the feet. So notice that sensation of support being weighted into that surface that's supporting you. Feeling weighted and heavy, heavy as a rock. Good. Now, let's flip that to the front places of the body. Wherever the air comes across the skin, maybe it's your face, your neck, your arms, your feet. Notice in those places the body feels lighter compared to the places in the back side of the body. So the front places of the body where the air is coming across the skin, the arms are light, the legs are light, the whole body light, as if you were floating up towards the ceiling, light as a feather. Contrast that once again with the places in the back side of the body, feeling weighted and heavy, supported by the chair or supported by the floor beneath you. Going from light to heavy, to weighted, to being effortlessness. Notice what you notice or don't notice. Good. Then from here, I invite you to come back into your body. So maybe just do some wrist circles and wiggling of the fingers. Do the same with the feet. Kind of move those feet, wiggle those toes. Yeah. Now if you're lying on your back, bring a knee in towards your chest. Do the other one. If you're seated here in the chair, bring your feet wide. And we'll just kind of move a little bit, knees into chest, move side to side. If you're seated in the chair, do those wide body circles. So get a little bit of movement back into the body. And then reverse direction, go the other way. Especially if you're on the back, go to, little circles with those knees into chest on the back. And then come back to the center. Now if you're lying on your back, go ahead and roll over onto your side and come up slowly. That top hand presses into the floor. Come up to a seated place. Now sometimes, again, when we come up off the floor to a vertical position, we get this dizzy business. So everyone, I invite you, hands to chest, drop your chin towards your chest, just for a moment here. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice the chest rising and falling with the hands on the chest, okay? And then bring your eyes to gaze forward. Now, what I like to tell folks too, reducing chronic pain is kind of like a two-step process. You can do a physical practice, but also doing a yoga nidra meditation, which we offer every night here on Veterans Yoga Project, is typically like the icing on the cake to help you reduce that chronic pain, help you to sleep better at night, help you to have less of a monkey mind. So I invite you to go explore those too. Okay, so we're going to do our ending things for the class. Whether you're seated on the floor or on the chair, take your hand out to the side and turn your thumb to the top of the room and drop that opposite ear towards your shoulder and then lift your chin up. More blood flow to the brain through that carotid with this posture. Then return it back to the center. Let's do the other side. So the hand goes out to the side. Turn that thumb to the back of the room. Drop that opposite ear towards your shoulder and lift that chin up. Very good, very good. And release. Let's do range of motion with the neck and the head. You're welcome, Nancy. Push the hands away, turn the head the other way, then bring it back to the center and do the other side. Often necks are very stiff. Bring it back to the center when we have back pain. Do the other side and back to the center. Very good. Excellent. So you can either place your hands on heart center to stacked hands or hands together, or maybe you have your hands resting on your belly or palms open on your lap. But I invite you to think about one thing that you're grateful for, or at least an idea of gratitude. So whatever that is, let's bring that into our heart space. And maybe drop your chin just for gratitude of you showing up today. Yeah. And then we'll do our ending sayings, and I'll stop the recording, and then I'll be on camera for any questions that you might have today. So you can keep your chin towards your chest or gaze your eyes forward, opened or closed, your choice here. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for back care.